In the heart of Dzukou Valley, a realm where mist clung to ancient trees and every stone whispered secrets of a bygone era, an illicit love began to bloom beneath the gathering twilight. The valley's emerald slopes, bathed in the gentle luminescence of dusk, concealed both breathtaking beauty and legends too heavy for mortal hearts. Here, amid the rustle of leaves and the murmurs of a hidden past, fate had conspired to unite two souls destined for both joy and torment. Dzukou, a formidable warrior molded by duty and scarred by the trials of battle, roamed these secluded glades in search of solace from the rigid confines of tradition. His dark, watchful eyes, mirroring the somber depths of the forest, betrayed an inner tenderness that few had ever glimpsed. It was on one of these solitary journeys that he encountered Mira, a healer whose gentle presence and quiet strength belied the turbulent world outside. Her luminous eyes, brimming with compassion and unspoken wisdom, seemed to hold the promise of a healing far beyond the physical. In a moment as fleeting as the caress of the wind through ancient boughs, the two found themselves inexplicably drawn to one another. A spark of hope kindled amid the oppressive shadow of ancestral strife. Their initial meeting, unplanned yet inevitable, unfolded beneath a sky streaked with the last embers of sunlight. In the hush of that magical hour, the barriers erected by generations of enmity appeared to crumble, leaving behind only the fragile truth of their connection. With each stolen glance and every whispered word exchanged in the secrecy of nature's embrace, they wove a tapestry of emotions that defied the decrees of their people. Every shared smile and tentative touch of hands, though fleeting and laden with unspoken longing, stood as a silent act of rebellion against a legacy steeped in discord. Yet, even as their clandestine meetings grew bolder, the timeless laws of tradition loomed large. Word of their forbidden union, carried on the winds and echoed in hushed conversations, reached the ears of the elders, custodians of sacred customs and unwavering arbiters of honor. Under a blood-red moon that bore witness to ancient rites, these venerable figures gathered in solemn conclave. In a ritual as old as the valley itself, they invoked a curse steeped in both ancestral wrath and an enigmatic power that seemed to bend the very fabric of reality. The curse fell upon the lovers like an impenetrable veil, separating them with an invisible, unyielding barrier. Though they remained within sight of one another, each could only hear the soft cadence of the other's voice, a tantalizing proximity that rendered physical touch an unattainable dream. The valley, as if awakened by this tragic decree, pulsed with a malevolent energy that fed hungrily on their despair. Each attempted embrace, every yearning reach across the void, only deepened the sense of loss and ignited the raw wounds of their forbidden passion. Days melted into nights as Dzukou and Mira grappled with the merciless reality of their fate. Every moment apart was a testament to the cruelty of an ancient retribution, while every ephemeral connection was a bittersweet reminder of what could never be fully reclaimed. In the quiet aftermath of their thwarted attempts at union, a persistent hope began to take root amid the sorrow. Subtle hints, the shimmer of an otherworldly light deep within the valley's recesses, the inexplicable hum that vibrated through the earth, suggested that their torment was not solely the punishment of mortal custom, but perhaps part of a far grander, cosmic design. Driven by a desperate need for understanding, Dzukou pored over fragments of old lore and half-forgotten legends, piecing together a narrative that hinted at an origin beyond the realm of human enmity. He suspected that the curse was entwined with an enigmatic relic buried in the earth, a vestige of an ancient civilization not of this world, its presence a silent testament to a time when celestial forces mingled with earthly destinies. Mira, whose gift for healing extended to the realm of unseen energies, sensed the pulsing aura of this relic, a force that resonated with the deep currents of life and sorrow alike. Even as the curse wove its inescapable tapestry around them, their hearts remained steadfast, united in the belief that deciphering this mystery might offer a path to liberation. Under the boughs of towering trees and the watchful gaze of the starlit sky, the lovers clung to their shared hope as tenaciously as they did to one another's fading voices. In each whispered conversation carried by the night air, there was an unspoken promise, a vow to defy the cruel edict imposed upon them, to challenge the ancient forces that sought to keep them eternally apart. The valley itself, a silent and inscrutable witness to their suffering, seemed to murmur hints of a destiny not yet fulfilled, an invitation to those willing to brave the darkness in search of light. As the night deepened and shadows intertwined with the remnants of fading hope, the tragic paradox of their existence crystallized. Bound by a curse that was both a punishment and a mystery, Dzukou and Mira were left to navigate the delicate balance between despair and defiance. Their love, though shattered by the inexorable weight of ancient customs and cosmic machinations, shimmered with an indomitable spirit, a promise that even in the face of insurmountable odds, the heart's yearning could transcend the boundaries imposed by fate. In that final, poignant moment of twilight, when the valley exhaled one last sigh of forlorn beauty, their silent struggle stood as both a requiem for lost love and a prelude to a quest that promised deeper truths. The unseen forces that had severed their embrace now beckoned, hinting at secrets buried beneath layers of time and myth, a mystery that, if unraveled, might yet transform their sorrow into salvation. And so, with hearts heavy yet hopeful, the lovers remained suspended in a delicate, eternal dance, their souls intertwined in defiance of the curse that sought to keep them apart, and their story poised on the brink of revelation. Long after the ancient curse had woven its tapestry of sorrow through Dzukou Valley, a determined band of explorers emerged, drawn by whispers of secrets buried beneath the land's verdant canopy. Dr. Elias Carter, a man whose keen intellect was matched only by his deep empathy, led the expedition with quiet authority. His weathered face bore the marks of countless journeys, each line a testament to his relentless pursuit of truth. Alongside him, Dr. Lena Patel, renowned for her work in quantum mechanics, and Captain Jiro Matsumoto, whose unflappable discipline lent the group stability, advanced into the valley with a blend of scientific curiosity and cautious optimism. The valley, still haunted by echoes of forbidden love, revealed an undercurrent of energy that defied simple explanation. Instruments hummed and screens flickered as the team detected irregular electromagnetic patterns emanating from deep within the earth. The readings pointed unmistakably to an alien relic, its presence intertwining with the valley's natural rhythms and, curiously, with the sorrow that lingered in the air. Each measurement deepened the mystery, hinting that this artifact was not merely an inert remnant of a bygone era, but an active participant in a narrative that spanned both time and emotion. In the quiet solitude of the valley, as twilight draped its gentle hues over the ancient landscape, the explorers began to uncover something even more profound. Faint spectral imprints, whispers of conversations, and fleeting shadows suggested the enduring presence of two souls separated by a cruel twist of fate. These echoes, delicate yet unmistakable, bore the weight of a timeless love story that had long been entombed by an unyielding curse. It was as if the very air vibrated with a mournful cadence of yearning and despair, each subtle vibration a reminder of the human heart's capacity for both profound love and unimaginable loss. As the team pieced together the fragments of lore and science, a troubling realization began to emerge. The alien relic seemed to harness the deep emotional currents generated by the lover's plight. This relic, ancient and enigmatic, appeared to feed on the sorrow that had been so carefully cultivated over generations. For every pulse of grief and every sigh of longing, the artifact's energy grew stronger, weaving a tapestry that bound the lovers to their spectral existence. The implications were as disturbing as they were fascinating. Here lay a convergence of cosmic power and human emotion, a fusion that defied conventional understanding and threatened to upend the natural order. The discovery ignited a fierce internal conflict within the team. Dr. Carter wrestled with the moral quandary of their mission. Was it their duty to liberate the souls ensnared in this eternal loop, even if doing so might erase the poignant legacy of their love? Dr. Patel's analytical mind crunched the data relentlessly, seeking patterns and solutions amid the chaos of quantum fluctuations and emotional energy. Captain Matsumoto, ever the pragmatist, kept a steady hand on the helm, acutely aware that any miscalculation could unleash forces far beyond their control. Driven by both scientific resolve and a deep-seated compassion, the team devised a daring plan to recalibrate the relic's energy matrix. Their strategy was as audacious as it was precise. By channeling a controlled burst of counteracting quantum energy, they hoped to disrupt the artifact's grip on the valley and, with it, on the tormented lovers. The operation demanded an intimate synchronization with the valley's pulse, a rhythmic convergence of technology and nature that left little margin for error. Every calibrated measurement, every finely tuned instrument, was a lifeline in the perilous attempt to realign forces that had been set in motion long before their arrival. In the moments preceding the critical intervention, a palpable tension gripped the team. The valley itself seemed to hold its breath, the ambient light wavering as if in anticipation of a monumental shift. Dr. Patel's steady voice broke through the silence, her words measured and resolute. This is our moment to redefine what has been, to free these souls from their eternal penance. Her declaration resonated deeply with each member, reinforcing the shared belief that humanity's ingenuity and compassion could confront even the most inscrutable cosmic designs. Then, as the calibrated energies began to converge upon the relic, the very air shimmered with possibility. The artifact's glow intensified, its once stable hum warping into an otherworldly symphony of light and shadow. In that critical juncture, where scientific precision met the raw, unyielding power of human emotion, the valley teetered on the brink of transformation. The explorers stood united, their collective resolve intertwining with the ancient sorrow that had defined this sacred place for so long. In the final, suspended moments of that fateful night, the team realized that their interference had not only challenged a relic of alien origin, but also the very essence of a timeless love. The relic pulsed with renewed vigor, its energy field oscillating as though in response to their efforts. And though the outcome remained uncertain, the promise of change, of liberating the lovers from an endless cycle of longing, kindled a flame of hope that defied even the deepest despair. With hearts both heavy and hopeful, the expedition prepared to embrace the unfolding mystery, aware that the path ahead would reshape the destiny of the valley and those bound by its ancient curse. The human interference had set in motion forces that would soon converge in a moment of truth, leaving the fate of both the relic and the eternal lovers suspended on the cusp of revelation. In the silent, pre-dawn chill of Dzukou Valley, the final moment of reckoning had arrived. Dr. Elias Carter's eyes, steely with resolve, scanned the ancient relic as it pulsed with an almost sentient glow, a heartbeat echoing the valley's own ageless rhythm. He had devised a plan so audacious that its very execution threatened to rewrite the laws of nature. A calibrated burst of counteracting quantum energy intended to merge the fractured timelines of two doomed souls. The artifact, a relic of alien ingenuity, now lay at the center of a delicate interplay between science and fate, its energy field trembling with anticipation. As the expedition team gathered in a close circle, each member felt the gravity of the impending act. Dr. Lena Patel, her analytical mind meticulously mapping the relic's erratic pulses, offered a steadying nod, while Captain Jiro Matsumoto's measured gaze surveyed the perimeter for any unforeseen peril. Their instruments hummed softly, synchronized with the relic's rhythm, capturing every nuance of its incandescent dance. The air was heavy with a mixture of trepidation and hope, an unspoken promise that this moment might finally break the centuries-old curse. Yet, amid their scientific fervor, a profound human element lingered. The spectral imprints of Dzukou and Mira, the cursed lovers whose eternal separation had become both a symbol of tragic defiance and a beacon of unyielding love. In the shadow of the relic, The echoes of the lovers' voices, faint but fervent, reverberated through the valley's hushed corridors. It was as if the very landscape mourned their endless longing, each rustle of the leaves and every gentle ripple of the stream a testament to the love that had defied tradition and transcended mortal boundaries. Dzukou's resolute spirit and Mira's compassionate heart were now etched into the fabric of the valley, suspended in a timeless interplay of yearning and sacrifice. Their intangible presence urged the team forward, fueling a conviction that perhaps this merging could restore what had been so cruelly fragmented. Dr. Carter's hand hovered over the control panel, his fingers poised to unleash the quantum burst that might finally bridge the chasm between the lovers. He recalled the countless nights spent poring over ancient lore and deciphering cryptic symbols etched into the valley's ancient stones, clues that had led him to this singular moment. Each calculation, every risk taken, had culminated in this decision, to challenge a curse that had long been accepted as immutable. But the plan was not without its peril. A misstep could not only dissipate the faint hope of reuniting Dzukou and Mira, but might also trigger a cascade of unpredictable consequences, potentially unraveling the very essence of the valley's mystical balance. As the calibrated energy began to coalesce around the relic, the air itself seemed to throb with expectancy. Dr. Patel's voice, measured and unwavering, cut through the tension. We stand on the threshold of rewriting fate. Let us honor the love that has endured and free these souls from their endless torment. Her words resonated deeply, intertwining with the spectral murmurs that had haunted the valley for centuries. In that charged silence, every heartbeat, every fleeting glance exchanged among the team members affirmed their collective commitment to this daring endeavor. At that critical juncture, the lovers' silent anguish and unyielding devotion surged into palpable force. It was as if Dzukou and Mira, though separated by an impenetrable barrier of ancient magic, had found a way to communicate their final choice, a choice to risk everything for the promise of one true embrace. Their presence, woven into the fabric of the valley, lent a transcendent quality to the moment. The relic's glow intensified, mirroring the intensity of their undying love and the hope of liberation. The quantum burst, now fully aligned with the artifact's pulsations, began its delicate dance, a convergence of light, energy, and timeless emotion that defied the ordinary laws of physics. In a breathtaking instant that seemed to stretch into infinity, the barrier separating the lovers wavered. The quantum energies, meticulously modulated by human hands and guided by hearts full of longing, surged through the relic in a dazzling display of brilliance. For a heartbeat, the valley held its breath as time itself appeared to pause, a suspended tableau where science and passion merged in a single, decisive act. And in that fleeting moment, Dzukou and Mira felt the invisible bonds that had long kept them apart begin to dissolve, replaced by the tender promise of unity that had been their silent, desperate prayer. Yet, as the surge of energy reverberated through the valley, uncertainty still loomed like a distant storm on the horizon. The merging of timelines was as unpredictable as it was revolutionary. The lovers could be granted a single, transcendent moment of togetherness, or they might vanish into the ether of a reality reshaped by sacrifice. Dr. Carter's gaze remained fixed on the relic, his expression a mix of determination and quiet vulnerability, as he realized that their interference had set in motion a chain of events that would echo far beyond this singular night. The choice, now irrevocable, was the final testament to the eternal legacy of love, a legacy that defied both the whims of fate and the constraints of mortal understanding. In the echo of that profound act, as the valley shimmered with the residual glow of the quantum burst, the team found themselves suspended in a bittersweet equilibrium. The relic's energy field began to stabilize, its once turbulent pulses softening into a harmonious cadence that seemed to whisper of new beginnings. The spectral impressions of Dzukou and Mira lingered, their forms now suffused with a gentle luminescence that hinted at the promise of reunion. The final choice had been made, a choice that honored the timeless power of love, even as it demanded a sacrifice that resonated through the ages. As dawn crept over the horizon, painting the valley with hues of gold and hope, the expedition team stood in quiet reverence of what had transpired. The ancient curse, long a symbol of insurmountable division, now teetered on the cusp of transformation. In that serene light, the legacy of the cursed lovers shone with renewed brilliance, a beacon for all who dared to challenge fate in the name of love. Though the immediate future remained shrouded in mystery, the path ahead promised revelations that would reshape not only the valley, but the very understanding of what it meant to love and be free.